Hello and welcome to the Bishop's DTE YouTube channel. Today we're going to be looking at one of our projects for Key Stage 3 where we use Creo to help us design a minifigure. Okay, so once Creo opens up, the first thing we need to do is set the working directory. So we're going to click Set Working Directory. A window will pop up on our screen once we press the click. And from the left hand side where it says Common Folders, once it pops up, there we go, you're going to select the Lego parts. The Lego parts will be installed ready for you on the school system. So then we click OK and we go straight to the word New. We can see part is already highlighted, so that's great. And what we're going to do then is we're going to call the file name Head. The common name, you don't need to type anything in, we just want it in that file name box. Once we're happy with that, we'll press OK and we'll load up the main screen of Creo. Now today you're going to be working from an engineering drawing, so here's our engineering drawing. You'll have a copy of this in your folders in lessons, and it's got all the dimensions we're going to be using to help us build our minifigure. So when we go back into Creo in a second, we'll start translating some of them things, and I'll refer to it in the commentary as we go through about what we're looking at and what we're going to be doing. So in Creo, the first thing we're going to do is press the extrude button, which is right in the centre of your screen there. My mouse is on it now. Once I've clicked that, I'm going to move over to the model tree and highlight the top button. You'll see it's highlighted because it's gone red, and when I'm ready I'll just click on that and my screen will flip around in front of me just like that. So just before we start designing on Creo, we're going to refer back to the engineering drawing, and I'm looking at the circle in the top left hand corner which has a radius of 50 or a diameter of 100. So that's where we're going to start drawing. So we're going to use the circle tool. We're going to click once on the circle. We're going to move it to the center where there's a cross and it will snap to that center. I click once to start drawing the circle. As I move my mouse away from the circle center, the circle starts to draw. I click once again to finish that drawing. Now please do not click on anything else at this stage. All you want to do is go to the select button, which is a big arrow on the left hand side of the ribbon there. So the mouse will move over to that now. We're going to click on that, and as we do, the center of our circle will color into a pinky purple color and a dimension will appear. So as we said, it's changed color, so we know it's good. We know it's that change of color represents that the circle's whole, it's complete, we're good to go. All we need to do is change that dimension. So it's come up as a diameter, so I'm going to type in 100. If it came up as a radius, it would be 50. Now once that's done, it's shrunk the circle down a bit because obviously the circle we drew at first was a bit bigger. So we're going to press the refit button. Now this is just below the main toolbar across the top of that ribbon. My mouse is on it now. It comes up refit. We click that and it zooms the circle right into the middle of the screen for us. Now when we're happy with that circle, all we're going to do is press the green tick and it changes to orange. If the circle changes to orange or any extrude changes to orange, you know you're good to go. So that means it's a 3D shape. So I've got some numbers on there, which my mouse is hanging over at the moment. If I hold down the scroll wheel now and move my mouse, we can move that object around on the screen. So we can now see it is 3D. Now we know that it's 3D, but it's on the wrong view. We're not viewing it the correct way up. So just before, like before we use the refit button on this little ribbon, I'm using the standard orientation one, and I'm going to click on the word isometric, and that will spin the shape into an isometric view, so it'll be the correct way up as we want to look at it. So if I press that now, it spins up. If it's a bit small, you can use your scroll wheel to zoom in, or you could use that refit button. Now the last thing I'm going to do is change the dimension. So my mouse is up in the top left hand corner there in that box, and I can type a number in there. I can also type a number where my mouse is now, or I can drag the little yellow marker up and down. So I've just clicked on that and I'm holding the mouse button down and I drag it up and down. The most accurate way is to use the top button there, top bar sorry, and type in your number. So I'm going to type in 85 for my height and press OK. And that will then create our 3D part. It's a bit big, so remember that refit button on the toolbar there. So we press that now and it will then zoom back down into a more manageable size. So we've created the main part of the head. We're now going to round off the top and bottom corners. So up where we found the extrude button, to the left of it, on the second column over, is one that says round. It's a smaller button this time, but we can click on that. It comes up with the same sort of type bar across the top. It's changed, and all you need to do is click on the edge of the circle. So it's come up with a default of 2. I'm going to change that to 15. So you'll see it change when I type the number in, and then using the scroll wheel, I'm going to tilt the head up so I can see the bottom of it and click on that bottom edge. Just one click on there, it changes it to 15. I've got a 15 radius on the top and bottom of the head now, so I'm good to go, and press OK. So that's the main part of the head. We now need to put a little connecting block on top and one on the bottom. So we'll start with the top first, and we're going to do exactly the same process as we've already done. We're going to do an extrude and a round. So I just need to press that refit button again there, so you can see all the sides there. So we're going to press the extrude button again, but I'm going to select that top surface that my mouse is hovering over now. So to do that, we press extrude. So once we press that, the bar changes, the ribbon at the top changes. Before we use these, the top from the side menu there, this time, however, I can move my mouse over and click on a surface. So you can see the bottom one we just highlighted. I'm going to move it to the top there, click once, and when I click, it'll spin around like it did before, and we'll be able to draw on that surface. So we press the click there, and it's spun round. So it's exactly the same process as before. We click on the circle, we're going to draw from the center out, and then we go back and resize it. Now please remember to draw just one circle. We don't want more than one circle. So we click once, which will end about there. We go to that select button again, really important, we don't press anything else. When we press the select button, try again to press it this time, the circle will change colour, so we know we're good to go, and we'll get that dimension come up. So there's the select button pressed now. The dimension is a bit harder to read on this one, so we just double click that number, and we're going to change that number to 50. So we just type in the number we want. When we're happy with that, we press enter, and we press the green tick. Like before, it will go orange, so we know we're good to go. If you want to view it, you can use the middle mouse button, the scroll wheel, to spin it around. And just like before, I'm going to use the number bar there at the top there, and I'm going to type in my dimension of 18. So it's going to stick up 18, and press OK. And again, we just spin that around so you can see what's going on there. We're going to put it back into isometric again, just so we're viewing it the right way round. And we'll then look at adding a round to that top edge of the block. So this is going to make it look more realistic. So what we'll do now is we're into isometric there. We're going to press the round button, which is just to the left of, sorry, to the right of the extrude. Click on that edge, and you'll see it's remember the dimension I put in before, which was 15. So I need to change that to 5. So just type in the number 5 and press OK. So we're over halfway there in making the head. We can do exactly the same thing now on the bottom, with one difference. We're going to change some of the dimensions. The bottoms are slightly bigger, his neck's slightly wider than the top piece we just made there. So we just spin it around using the scroll wheel so we can see the bottom there. We'll click on the extrude button. Remember, that's in the center of your screen there. I'm on it now. And I'm going to click the base this time, and it spins round exactly the same process as before. So we're going to start by clicking on the circle button. We click once in the center, we drag it out to the side. Make sure you don't snap to anything. Once you've drawn it, you're going to press the select button, and remember, it will then change colour. So it's gone that pinky purple colour, and I changed the number. This time the number needs to be 60, so it's slightly bigger. We press OK, and I'm going to put the dimension that it sticks out. So remember, it was the scroll wheel there to move it around to 10. So I'll type in the number 10 and press OK. So that's created the most part of our minifigure. The only problem is now he needs to be hollow. The head needs to be empty. It's full of air inside. So we can do that using the shell tool. So I'm just moving it around there so you can see. I'm going to click on the shell tool, which is next door to round. Click on that, and I'm going to click that base section again. And when I do that, it shells, it removes all the material inside of it. And it's given us a dimension of 2 point something. I need to change the thickness to 10. Now remember, each time, everything we change the numbers, it's in the top left hand button there, or top left hand corner, and we just press the green tick when we are happy with that. So as soon as we're happy, we press the green tick and we've got our Lego head. Now the only problem I can see with it at the moment is the wrong colour. So to change the colour of it, once we're happy, we put it back into isometric and things, or we put it into a 3D view where we can zoom in into it. And what we will do is we're going to press on the applications tab at the top there. So I press on applications and you'll see there's one that says teapot. Little in-house joke, because it takes quite a while to render sometimes. You press render studio and we're now colouring in, or rendering the correct word, our image. So I'll go over to appearances. That will then load up in a second, and I'm going to go down to where it says library. The right hand side of that, it's got the materials, and I want to click on the one that says plastics. So I'll move down to plastics. Make sure you click on the little arrow to the side of plastics, so you get the little drop down arrow. So just move it across there, click on the little drop down arrow, and I'm going to go for injected. And what will happen is I've got a load of colours there. You can make your customs one, and we'll cover them in a later video, but luckily there's a yellow plastic, so I've clicked on that. I'm going to then click from the model tree on the head, so I want all of the head to be that colour, and in the top right hand corner you'll see an OK button. Now the computer will now start rendering it, so that's what's happening. As we move it around, you get these flashes of colour, of shadow appearing. If you just leave it for a while, 5-10 minutes, you'll get a nice rendered finish there. But for now, that's the end of this video. We're just going to make sure we save it, so I'll press the save disk button and I'm going to press OK. Now thank you for watching. Please stay tuned to the Bishop's DTE channel for the next in a series of tutorials where we'll look at making the body. We hope you enjoyed it. Please remember to like and subscribe.